little bistro sat at the edge of town, nestled between a flower shop and a taxidermist's. Chef Adrian's, the red letters read, faded but charming in their rustic European way. No one quite remembered when it opened. It felt like it had always been there, hidden in plain sight. Inside, the aroma of smoked rosemary, caramelized shallots, and something else, something deeper, greeted patrons like a warm hug. The place had no menu. Chef Adrian insisted every meal was bespoke. "You don't choose the dish," he'd say with a sly grin. "The dish chooses you." What set the bistro apart wasn't just the ambiance or Adrian's award-winning smile. It was his ethos. He only served ethical cuisine, no animal products, no preservatives, all organic. A mecca for vegans, influencers, and food bloggers seeking clean, enlightened fare. And people loved it. The wait list stretched for weeks. Reservations came with a waiver. All ingredients are confidential, natural, and sustainably sourced. Most assumed it was just marketing. No one read the fine print. No one ever does. It was Clara who first suspected something was off. She had been vegan for 7 years, militant on social media, and skeptical of anyone who didn't post their macros. But Chef Adrian, he was different. His dishes were transcendent. They weren't just meals. They were experiences, deep, emotional. Something inside her changed after each visit. She would cry during dessert, laugh during soup. Once, she even moaned involuntarily during a consommé. She had to know more. One night, after her third visit in a month, she lingered after closing, claiming she left her sunglasses. The front door had been locked. The kitchen lights were off. But she heard voices, low, humming, almost like chanting. She tiptoed past the empty tables, heart hammering, and peered through the cracked kitchen door. Chef Adrian stood over a long metal table. Something lay there, motionless, draped in cheesecloth. Clara squinted. It wasn't tofu. It had fingers. He whispered in French, drawing a small knife along the body with reverence, not malice. Around him were shelves stacked with mason jars, each labeled with a name and a dietary preference. Elena, gluten-free. Travis, paleo. Lucas, raw vegan. And then she saw it, a name freshly scrawled on a tag in red ink. Clara, vegan. She ran, or tried to. Adrian turned, calmly wiping the blade. "You weren't supposed to see this yet," he said, disappointed rather than angry. Clara bolted out the back door barefoot, slipping on herbs and sawdust. She made it to her car, trembling hands fumbling the keys. She never returned to the bistro. No one believed her story, of course. Why would they? Chef Adrian's reputation only grew. His meals became more refined, more deeply affecting. People left his bistro changed, calmer, cleaner, somehow more virtuous. But Clara noticed something no one else did. Everyone who left Adrian's began craving more, and they were all vegans. At least they had been, until they stopped posting, until their profiles went silent, until they vanished. She dug. She found an old article buried in an archived Parisian journal. Adrian was once a butcher's apprentice expelled for ethical violations. The records were sealed, the witnesses mysteriously missing. A pattern of restaurant openings followed, always vegan, always popular, always ending with a fire or a disappearance. The kicker, every location had a garden out back, always lush, always fertilized with something rich in iron. Clara went public eventually. Blogs, videos, interviews. Most wrote her off as mentally ill. Adrian sued for defamation. She lost. But Chef Adrian never lost customers. You can book a table next week, actually. Just don't ask what's in the pâté. Don't snoop. Don't be too public about your dietary ethics. And whatever you do, if your name ever appears on a jar in Adrian's walk-in cooler, don't scream. It bruises the flavor.
This is the